Sportz Blitz Live is on the air with full coverage of the Auburn Tigers,
Touchdown Auburn!
the Alabama Crimson Tide,
Off to the inside, intercepted Alabama. Touchdown!
and everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sportz Blitz Live.
Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday evening. It's Deja Vu all over again. I am Andy Graham. He is Luke Robinson. We are back here with you. It seems like we're just here today.
Seems like just around noon today we were in this very location.
How about that? But we are back with you tonight. This is the latest edition of Sportz Blitz Live. We appreciate all of you out there joining us tonight. We are brought to you by JR's Sports Bar and Grill. Go by and see Chris and Audra. They always have something good to eat over there and great atmosphere. JR's Sports Bar and Grill, also brought to you by Sunshine Heating and Air for all your heating and air needs. It's a great place.
That'd be weird if there was some other kind of need
This
there,
is
like
true.
all your gardening needs.
This is true. It'd be kind of an odd name for them. But anyway, we appreciate, again, all of you out there joining us. Going a little Facebook Live again tonight. So if you'd like to call in, 256-234-6221, or if you'd like to just dial us up on Facebook, you can comment and join in on the conversation. Any of the things that we talk about, or if you'd like to bring up a new subject, by all means, give us a call or comment, and we will try to accommodate you. The World Series Game 1 tonight. The Astros at Dodger Stadium. Clayton Kershaw and Dallas Keuchel that one getting underway in about 10 minutes on Fox. Don't change the channel, though. No need to. We'll keep you up to date.
And it probably won't actually start for another 20 to 25 minutes.
Probably so. Good chance for that.
You've got anthems and pledges. And
Got to introduce everybody on the roster.
introduce everybody on the roster. I mean, it's just keep up with it on the radio. Just keep up with it on Twitter. Honestly, it's baseball. You don't need to turn it into the 8th inning anyway.
That's probably true. Alabama defeats Tennessee 45-7 in a squeaker. Auburn 52-20 over Arkansas in a tight one. We'll talk about some SEC games. We'll talk about some SEC teams as we'll break down in detail the East and West of the SEC. So Auburn and Alabama both have off weeks this weekend, so it's a good chance to take a look around the league and see where everybody is at right now. Gus Malzahn always likes where Auburn's at.
He does say that a lot.
He does say that.
Do you ever just feel like saying between the A and the T?
Do
you ever feel like saying there between the A and the T? Didn't your English teacher ever do that to you?
No.
When you end a sentence with a preposition like at, there you go, where is it at? Between the A and the T.
Then the A and the T.
You're not supposed to.
That's true. Jimbo Fisher confronts an angry FSU fan, challenging them basically to a fight. Things have taken a turn in Seminole country.
Well, and it's funny because if you read an Auburn message board, if you've listened to an Auburn themed radio sports show, I'm telling you now, I listened to one earlier today, 2 hours of people talking about who do we get to replace Malzahn. Not like, okay, if Malzahn falls on his face, who could we potentially get? Who will we get? And I found it quite bizarre. And one of the names that kept coming up was Jimbo Fisher. The two names that came up that I thought were weird: Jimbo Fisher and your boy Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, I don't want either of them. I've never wanted Jimbo. Didn't really care for him when he was the offensive coordinator. I know a lot of people did. I know he's done. He's won a national title at Florida State. Beat Auburn to do it. There's no chance Lane Kiffin will end up at Auburn. I'll go ahead and say that now.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I find it very odd. It tells me that everybody in football has a conscience. Everybody has all these morals that you want to live to, as long as you're winning. Yeah. If you're not winning, I don't care. Give me, because Auburn, everybody dog cussed Lane Kiffin. Alabama fans dog cussed him too. But then he's winning and he's setting records, and we're like, Lane's not so bad. I still think he's kind of funny. I think he's a tiny bit misunderstood. I don't think he's a horrible human being or anything. He's got some vices. Okay, he's got some vices. Do I think he'd be a good coach at Auburn? Oh, God, no. I hope y'all, please, Andy, if y'all fire Gus Malzahn, would you please hire Lane Kiffin? It would be fun for the whole family.
I'm sure that it would be fun for somebody, and it wouldn't be me. Florida apparently receiving death threats.
No, not Florida. Jim McElwain.
Jim McElwain and the players.
That'd be weird if the whole state was. Caller, you're on there. Go ahead.
How y'all doing tonight?
Doing great. What's going on?
I just want to call and let you know it's the first game for Mr. It's going to be played on Thursday. They play Sister at home. Mr. Girl, Mr. Boy. And they play Sister.
Sylacauga.
It's 5 o'clock, yes, sir. That's 3 whole game for Mr. Basketball team.
Okay.
Middle school?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, thank you for the phone call. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Johnny.
So, anyway, back to what we were talking about. Lane Kiffin, obviously going to be your next head coach. You heard it here first.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's go ahead and round out this first segment talking about some high school games. Johnny brought up middle school basketball, I think, going on. So was it 5 o'clock you said to play Sylacauga? Is that what he said?
I think so.
Okay. Benjamin Russell, a big win over Helena, setting up a huge matchup as Wetumpka will travel to the Sportsplex to take on Benjamin Russell this Friday night. Wetumpka 8-1, Benjamin Russell 7-1. Wetumpka first loss of the season last week at Opelika. Randy Lee called that on this program, or on the Auburn Blitz actually. This is for all the marbles really. This is for first place area championship, right?
Yeah, and
if
Benjamin Russell wins it, they win the region. That's right. And
home
it'd be
field,
huge.
guaranteed home field.
It would be huge. The interesting thing is I've heard Courvoisier Smoke, the fabulous running back for Wetumpka, was injured in this last game. I haven't got any confirmation about that. I mean, it's not like college football where you can go to any website and find out anything, but it would be interesting. If he doesn't play, I think that certainly makes a difference in this ball game. But, it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully Sportplex is going nuts.
Hopefully so. Dayville drops one. Hanley had not won a game until the Dayville Fighting Tigers came to see them this Friday night, 46-20. Childersburg traveling to Dayville this Friday night. Childersburg 3-5, Dayville 4-5. So be interesting to see if Dayville they've taken a turn here toward the end of the season. I don't know if they can turn it around.
Yeah, they're going to need to have a bounce back game. There's no doubt about it. And worst case scenario, you want to have some good feelings about the season. So if they're Dayville's 4-5, you say? Mm-hmm. So this is their last game then.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what their playoff situation is, but
I think they're out.
Okay. Well, then this is the last game.
This is it. You're playing for pride here.
Yeah.
Horseshoe Bend gets a big win over Fayetteville, 43-8. They'll take on Woodland at home this Friday night. Woodland only 1-7, so Horseshoe Bend with a great opportunity to continue this winning streak, or start a winning streak to finish the season.
You can't start a winning streak until you win the first one.
This is right. Reeltown, another big win over Vincent. That's kind of surprising. I think I did pick Reeltown in the paper, though, 48-15.
I picked him in the paper, too, but I'm barely beating the dog of the week from the animal shelter that picked, so I'm not really the authority on prognostications, as we've all found out.
Yeah, well. The team that Horseshoe Bend hammered, Fayetteville, will travel to Reeltown. Fayetteville, again, 1-7, Reeltown 4-4, so.
Got another caller? Let's go ahead and take it. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Luke, Andrew, this is Kevin, Dayville Tigers. How y'all doing tonight?
Kevin, how you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm good. Hey, Dayville's still alive and well. We got to beat Childersburg, and we'll be the 4th seed for Region 3.
Yeah, I thought there was a chance, but, there I go listening to Andy again. That's my fault.
I'm listening to people in Dayville. That's my mistake.
Well, good. So, Kevin, do you think Dayville will come out with a bit of a fire lit underneath them after, I got to say it's a surprising loss last week, I would say, but maybe this is the kind of thing that can spur them on to maybe make a run in the playoffs?
Well, we can only hope so, Luke. You know, it's going to be it's senior night. You know, if that doesn't get you fired up, your seniors are done if they don't win. So, and it will be our 10th game. We are off next week. If we were to prolong the season, we would have a week off before the playoffs. The Handley game, we kind of, I didn't ever feel good about the game, and I don't think the coaches felt good about the game going up there. It was senior night for them, so that lit a fire under them, and how in the world they have not won a game is beyond me, because they look like last year's Handley team when we showed up. Now, we didn't play our best either, but that was a good-looking ball club.
Yeah, Handley's usually got a pretty strong program. There's no doubt. I'm certainly surprised they were winless until that Dadeville game. Do you like the idea that Dadeville, should they win this week, do you like the idea they have a week off, maybe regroup and face the playoffs with a new attitude? Do you like that?
I do. We've got a couple of injuries we're nursing that, you know, we're hoping they get back full speed for Friday. We're going to need them. Yeah, and having that week off would be excellent. I do think, I hadn't seen the bracket, but from what I'm gathering, we would go to Andalusia, so we would need all hands on deck for that one for sure.
Well, Kevin, always the good news about that is if you were to go to Andalusia and win, you knock off one of the big boys first, and that way you don't have to face them later. That's always good news, right?
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. And the big game, you know, Friday's a huge game for Dadeville because that gives us 2 more weeks of practice and another game looking ahead to next year. It gives us at least 1 more game and 2 weeks of practice, so it'll be huge. You know, I'd like to ask everybody to come out and support the Tigers. You know, they're not dead. I mean, they're down, but they're not out. So, you know, come out Friday night and support them, and it's senior night, so maybe, you know, we got our head on straight. And, you know, from what I hear, Childersburg is about like us. You know, kind of unpredictable, can play well, can play bad. So, you know, we'll see what we get Friday night.
Best of luck to you, Kevin. Thank you so much for calling in, buddy, and letting us know.
No problem. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
My apologies. Dadeville's still alive.
See,
Taking care of business
I really
against
do hope somebody's DVR'd this, because you and I lots of times go mano a mano on some of these things,
right.
and I've been wrong literally every time except this one. And then, like, I'm finally like, okay, Andy's always right. I'm always wrong, so yeah, I'm just going to go with what he says. And he's wrong.
And I'm wrong.
I do.
Terribly.
I am
dead
really,
wrong.
I'm getting
up against the break
thrill
here.
from this.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Sportz Blitz Live right after this.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. At Main Street Family Urgent Care, we want you to know one of the benefits of our clinic. We have a self-pay option that allows you to get the most out of your visit. That means you don't have to worry about receiving a large bill after your visit. $125 covers all in-house labs, stitches, x-rays, or injections, and we have a selection of antibiotics available in the clinic. We want you to feel better fast at Main Street Family Urgent Care, open 7 days a week in Alexander City across the street from Walmart. Heal better, feel better fast.
So Dave here is taking the family up to the lake for the weekend, but without the white knuckles this time. Because his new 2018 Ford F-150 has Bliss with trailer coverage. It's Brainiac smart. Not only does it watch your F-150's blind spots, it's got your trailer covered too. One less thing to spoil the weekend. No, it can't make the fish bite, but maybe they'll work on that. This is the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, pal. It is the bar.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Ready to put some fun in your life? Whether it's Central or East Alabama, North Alabama, West Georgia, or wherever you're from, Fun Carts of Opelika is your authorized easy-go cart dealer that has no limits on a perfect easy-go cart. Whether it's a fully customized cart or a stock-made cart, we'll deliver it on time and at the best price. Fun Carts gives you the service after the sale, so no matter if it's hunting, tailgating, motorhoming, fleet rental, or just a better way to get around, Fun Carts of Opelika has it and will customize it to your needs. Visit us in Opelika or call us or visit online for the best easy-go carts. Put a little fun in your life with Fun Carts of Opelika.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Bice Motors in Alexander City. Brian and his crew offer the latest lines of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram vehicles, as well as the best used inventory around. Guaranteed lowest price. Bice.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you until 9 o'clock. Taking your phone calls, 256-234-6221. Taking your comments as well on Facebook Live. So dial us up there. Alabama gets a big win over a tough Tennessee team. 45-7, Tennessee winless.
Why do you have to be sarcastic about it? It's not our fault Tennessee's terrible.
I'm sarcastic. I'm being sarcastic to Tennessee.
We did. I know. Well, you're looking at me while you're doing it. But
you look like a volunteer.
I did my podcast earlier today with Jimmy Stein called Talking Tuscaloosa, and we talked about, okay, the streak's at 11, right? And I don't think Tennessee's winning next year. We assume they're getting a new coach, right? And Tennessee they're not going to be much better, and Alabama's going to have Jalen Hurts back and a lot of folks back. Alabama's going to be pretty good again. So, and then you come back to Tuscaloosa, even if Jalen Hurts were to go pro early, which I don't think he is, Alabama will either have him or Tua Tagovailoa, who looks pretty good too. I don't think you're winning then, right? So the next chance I think Tennessee has to win in that series is 3 years from now. And by that time, the streak will be at 13. Literally, the streak will be going through puberty. And the next time Tennessee has a chance to win this thing. That's amazing to me. I mean, because it's not like having a 13-game streak against somebody like Tennessee is, in my opinion, the equivalent of having a 40-game streak against Vanderbilt.
I don't even want to say. I mean, these kind of things tend to end when you least expect them to. You could say that. You could project it out and say, yeah. I mean, for the next 5 years, Tennessee might not have a chance to win, but they might win one of them. They might win next year. Who knows? You don't know how things.
Sometimes you know.
Sometimes you might know. But 1-0 Dodgers as they go deep early, first inning.
And it's in Los Angeles?
It's in Los Angeles. Alabama ran 40 more plays than Tennessee.
They had 500 more yards.
Tennessee had 108 yards. Alabama had 604.
Tennessee had 97 yards in interception returns and 108 yards in offense.
Tennessee had 7 first downs, 2 of them by penalty. Alabama had 35 first downs, 3 of them by penalty. That's just, I mean, if you're like you say, if you're Tennessee and you've got 64 yards rushing in the game and 44 yards passing in the game, and you're 1 of 12 on third down, you've committed 9 penalties for 81 yards. Obviously you got to get a new coach, but you need to just look at yourself and say, we need to reevaluate our whole existence.
Your whole program.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, I totally agree. I don't know how Tennessee got to this point. I mean, that's you look around and you go, how did it come to this?
Well, why do people keep saying that Butch Jones has done a good job recruiting?
Well,
is it the same Auburn?
No. Because I think that people look at what he inherited from Derek Dooley.
Okay.
Now Derek Dooley, it was a bad fit and he was a bad coach. I mean, there's no way around that. And he didn't recruit very well. So Butch Jones has brought it back up to where they're a 8-4, 9-4 with a bowl game type team. That's not bad. That's not awful. But
why do you go from 9 wins to this?
Well, you lose on a Hail Mary, and then you lose to 2 of the top 3 teams in the country. You lose to, man, I don't know. Look, I'm trying my best to do my keep Butch Jones, and I can't do it. I mean, there's no reason he's still coaching right now. What are they waiting on? At the end of the season, if they fire him, I assume the buyout is the same? I don't think there's any more penalty for Tennessee to fire him now versus firing him then. Now, there is a rumor floating around that if he were to win out, he could salvage his job, which come on, Butch. But why would you do that? You got the sample size. I mean, to me, it's the Mike Shula argument. To me, it's the Gus Malzahn argument. You know now. We have enough to know what he's going to do. Now, that may deviate a small amount either way from 9 wins. Maybe one time it's going to be 7 wins. Maybe one time it'll be 10. Maybe with a little bit of luck. But you're not winning championships with this guy.
Well, not that it would have made any difference, but forget the big picture, just a small picture here. I mean, why you were actually winning games with Dormandy. I mean, you weren't winning them handily or anything, but their offense is just it's so bad to the point where they've got 108 total yards.
I
mean, your boy Guantanamo Bay is not getting it done.
You could. Okay, I think if you're a Tennessee fan, you could say, I forgive the 108 yards against Alabama. I forgive it because Alabama has done this to them before. This is not new. And Alabama does this to other teams.
Yeah.
They
not 108.
108 yards? Do you know the 2011 team only gave up 180 yards a game? So, yeah, and that's...
Yeah, but Tennessee was in a position to win that year, weren't they? That was
2011? No.
Yeah, no, that was 9. I'm sorry.
No,
yeah.
11 they got
hammered.
Yeah. So
I bet they had more than 108 yards.
Probably. I mean, look, yes, you're right. They should have more than 108 yards, but you can forgive the outlier, okay? The problem is, and why did you go against Dormandy? Because you were losing to UMass. Mm-hmm. You were going to lose to the Minutemen at home.
Yeah.
And so I felt like that was the thing to do, is to make a change, try and create something. I can see his trying to create a spark. And the best way to create a spark or change things up in football, he's not changing the middle linebacker. If you change the safety, that's not really lighting a fire under your team. You change quarterbacks, you get everybody's attention. Now, and you got everybody's attention.
All right.
108 yards worth. But look, would Dormandy have done any better?
No, but they could at least be competent throwing the ball. They wouldn't be good, but they could complete some passes. 9 of 16 for 44 yards ain't going to get it done.
That's hard. That's hard to do.
Up against another break here, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Sportz Blitz Live program right after this.
Ask what makes it the best 3 Series ever, and we'll tell you it has more advanced suspension and steering for even more control of the road. And it's near perfectly balanced to put performance first. But ask if we're aware the competition mimics us just to keep up? No comment. The BMW 3 Series.
Visit BMW of Columbus on Whittlesey Boulevard or shop bmwofcolumbus.com.
Homeowners all over Alabama have discovered that when you need your flooring clean, whether it's carpet, upholstery, or any manner of hard surfaces, there's no clean like Peaches and Clean. Serving Auburn, the Chattahoochee Valley, Montgomery, Birmingham, and the Lake Martin area. Call 866-837-6937. 866-837-6937. Or visit peachesandclean.com. Caring for your floor and a whole lot more.
There's no clean like Peaches and Clean.
TPE Power Equipment is now the trusted name for all your mower and power equipment needs. Whether it's our original Tallahassee location or Opelika location on Fredericks Road, we've got East Alabama covered with the best brands of mowers and power equipment from Husqvarna, Toro, Kawasaki, Echo, and Honda. Right now, get commercial strength Husqvarna zero-turn mowers with our fleet program that offers deep discounts, easy finance, and bonus handheld equipment in one solid package. TPE of Opelika and Tallahassee are the new standard of everything power equipment in East Alabama.
Lake Area Realty is Lake Martin's Century 21 real estate company that proudly serves all the Lake Martin area. Rhonda Gaskin and her staff of caring professional realtors offers full sales for buyers and sellers in the area and can even help you with finding rentals or managing your current property. Whether it's your dream lake home, waterfront property, area family home in town, or just a starter home, Lake Area Realty can handle it all and advise you on all your needs. Buying and selling real estate is important to the professionals at Century 21. Lake Area Realty are your friends in real estate. Call or visit lakearearealty.net.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Farnell Mechanical gives you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable.
Trust Farnell Mechanical to provide perfect air for your family.
What perfect feels like. Lennox.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime at the all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Every new and pre-owned vehicle, just $1 down, plus credit amnesty. Bring home $350 a week, get up to $30,000 in credit.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime.
10 acres, 1,000 vehicles, just $1 down.
Folks, you've just got to see this place.
The all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Call 800-NEXT-RIDE.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Advanced Heating and Air, your authorized East Central Alabama train dealer. Call Advanced Heating and Air. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live. Just 30 minutes into the program, so an hour and a half of fun left. Stay with us. The Dodgers up 1-0 early in Game 1 of the World Series. Last week, we got Luke to answer some questions about Alabama and Tennessee. And he did pretty good. I'll go ahead and tell you. Did pretty good. So we'll do a little History 101 in this segment.
Okay.
440 total yards of offense for Alabama. Luke said they will obliterate it. 604 yards. The man was correct. 280 total yards of offense for Tennessee. He said, no way. Under 108 total yards. $42 points for the Alabama Crimson Tide. He said over. 45. 14 points for the Tennessee Volunteers. He said never. They will never get there. If their defense didn't have anything to do with it,
I know. I feel like I called the shutout.
Thanks, Tua.
I said, you don't need to throw it to a man like that. I think I really should get credit for the shutout. You can't plan for pick sixes.
Well, that's tough. That's the way life works, Luke. 2 dumpster dunks for Tennessee. Luke said, no way that will happen. Actually, it was kind of a push. There were two.
There were
turnovers,
two.
But
It was over under, and I said no way. I mean, again, are we really going to count off that our second string quarterback throws a pick and that
it was run back 97 yards? Yes, you're going to count that.
We're going to count off at least 7 points. Okay.
I have no idea how many references there were to Peyton Manning during the broadcast because I didn't watch the game.
You don't watch Alabama games?
I really don't. It's better for my health.
But I enjoy watching Auburn. I don't enjoy watching them as much as I enjoy watching Alabama, but I enjoy watching the game because you got to know. You got to know.
I know. I got a good idea.
We're pretty good.
Well, and I like watching Alabama play decent games, and you don't see many of those anymore.
That's true.
And I'm not surprised they hadn't turned off some of their fans, but
No, somebody tweeted out. They had a great tweet. They said, people have been saying, Alabama just blowing people out it makes the game not fun anymore. No, it makes it not fun for y'all. We love it.
I'm sure.
I'm telling you, they're an Alabama fan. It's not just
the whole bit of that. That's one of the things I've always said. People say, "Well, I love a close game." Not me.
Yeah,
I love a blowout. When it's
I
Auburn's
love when
involved.
the second string gets in.
Yeah. But anyway, Auburn takes care of Arkansas, 52-20. No really ill effects. Although I guess Auburn did kind of start slow. But no really ill effects from that devastating loss there in Death Valley.
Were you trying to hit a?
No,
okay.
I was just keeping it alive. 345 yards rushing. Welcome to the season, Cameron Petway. He actually looked like the guy that I saw last year.
No, he didn't.
He didn't. Yes, he did.
Andy, he didn't. He looked 3 steps slower than he looked last year. And he's never been a burner.
No,
but he looked a lot slower.
No. He didn't
yes. When he
looked faster in that game than he's looked all year.
Okay, that may be true. He did not look as fast as he looked last year, and he's not a burner. But
he's not a burner.
But he didn't look. In fact, on his one run that he was barely touched, he sort of bounced it outside and like the what.
That's what he did last year.
But it looked like he was kind of struggling to get there, and Arkansas was like, you know what? Why are we even here? It looked like they just wanted to. Not that they were scared of him. They were just like, we just want this over. Don't you get the feeling Arkansas and their fans,
Arkansas,
their team, they're done.
I told you Arkansas was done 2 games into the year.
You're right. You're right.
Contrary to what Luke believes, I think that was as healthy as he's been all year.
I
believe that.
Was as
active as he's been all year.
I believe that.
That was as good as he's looked all year.
I believe that.
I thought he looked as similar to last year as he's looked all year. So
you got your wah sound effect on there because he didn't look like he did last year. He just didn't, and
I didn't say
that's okay.
He may get
there. He may get there.
Well,
but
we'll see.
I thought he looked still a couple of steps slow from what he was last year.
Okay. 2 turnovers for Auburn. One of them was on the last play of the game, which incidentally cost Auburn and us, I said 330 yards for Arkansas. If Auburn gets first down there, Arkansas ends up with less. Instead, they throw a pass and get 20 yards. I think on the final play of the game, you know, 334. So thanks a lot, Auburn. But it was a good game. It was a good win for Auburn, and I'm happy that they played as well as they did. But, you know, it's hard for me to get ecstatic about it because much like apparently most Auburn fans, if you're listening to the radio, you know, they still expect us, you know, Auburn to look about like they did against Clemson and LSU against Georgia and Alabama. That's the, you know.
And I get that. But I'll say this, you know, I also saw a lot of people saying, now see, if we had just played like that, that's how you do when you keep your foot on the gas and you blah, blah, blah. Arkansas, you don't have to have your foot on the gas. You can put it in neutral and roll down the hill. Arkansas has mailed it in. And so that's not Gus keeping his foot on the gas. And Gus didn't take his foot off the gas against LSU. I don't care what anybody says. He didn't make adjustments. LSU did.
The offensive scheme changed, Luke. There's no other. You can't
for Auburn against LSU.
Yes,
they kept doing the same. Up the middle every day. They ran it 17 times in a row on first down.
That's when it changed.
How many chances do you have? You go 17 times in a row. That's a lot of times.
The first 4 drives when they scored. 20 points.
That's
when it changed. They went 17 straight first down runs.
Again, I don't think I think you are overstating the foot off the gas thing. That's what Auburn says about every time they lose, he takes his foot off the gas.
We're not in an automobile.
Some teams adjust.
Forget it. We're not. Forget that reference.
Okay.
It means nothing.
Thank you.
But calling different plays in different situations than you did previously to get the points you got, that is, in essence, well, I'm not.
Don't say it. Don't you say it. You just said not to say it.
I was going to say something different, but getting your sphincter getting a little tight. You know what I mean?
I know. I do get that. And I see. And look, I understand how coaches. I mean, Saban does that sometimes too, where you say, okay, we got a big lead. I'm going to shy away from the riskier plays. I get that. That makes sense. That's what a lot of people. Now, sometimes that can come back and bite you. I understand, but it makes sense too. The clock's your friend at that point.
Let's take a break. Hold that thought. We'll come back. We'll talk about this a little bit later. More Sports Blitz Live on the way right after this.
If you've been putting off that new heating and air unit in your home because of the upfront expenses, Williams Plumbing of Alexander City now has primary financing from Synchrony and can now install brand new heating and cooling systems with 0 down, longer terms, and a competitive rate. Call Williams Plumbing at 256-329-8488 and get a free quote and terms and upgrade up to $35,000 in work with approved credit. Williams Plumbing stands behind their work with on-time affordable service for all your heating and air needs, as well as plumbing for 0 down financing and great service. Williams Plumbing.
When enjoying the lake this season, make sure to drop by Harbor Point Marina for all your gas, snacks, boating supplies, and beverage needs. Harbor Point also wants you to come see our remaining 2017 Crest pontoons, priced to move at all-season pricing. Harbor Point Crest sales have been tremendous, and they're ready to unload their remaining 2017 Crest Tri-Toons to make way for the 2018 order. Come see the best in pontoons at our 2017 season closeout prices. Act now because inventory is limited, and enjoy your new Crest pontoon this year. For all your on-water needs and sacrifice pricing on Crest pontoons, get to the point. Harbor Point at Still Waters on Lake Martin.
Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gills. Selection and price, got to get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills. Cars that fit your budget. Service that no one around can beat. Stop by today and test drive the vehicle of your dreams. Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you. Gotta get to Gills. Selection and price. Gotta get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills. Bills Electric is your local expert for LED lighting retrofits for commercial and industrial applications. Bills Electric can survey your facility and develop lighting retrofit solutions utilizing the latest in LED technology and controls. In many cases, energy savings alone can generate a payback of 2 years or less. Additionally, LED lighting has an expected lifespan of up to 100,000 hours. Call the Lamborns today at 256-234-4555.
At A&M Plumbing, you can count on us for dependable, quality service. Our staff is professional, neat, clean, and courteous. We're a fully licensed and insured plumbing company. Call on A&M Plumbing for any plumbing, sewer, or septic problems. We provide a comprehensive line of plumbing repair and installation services to keep your home's plumbing systems in top order. When you need plumbing service, call on the professionals at A&M Plumbing. Service at its best, when you need it most.
We love football season.
Don't pass on these deals.
Drive a new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab 4x2 Express for $289 down, $289 a month during Ram Power Days at Bice Motors.
Score big and save all season long.
Lease the all-new redesigned 2017 Jeep Compass Latitude for just $149 a month.
Drive in for the savings. Drive out with the win.
Come see us in Alex City. BiceChryslerDodge.com.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Dark Insurance, offering insurance for all your personal needs, including auto, boat, homeowners, and disability. Don't be in the dark. Call Dark Insurance at 256-234-5026.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Talking about the SEC now, moving over. Idaho traveling to Mizzou, up 7-0. Then all of a sudden, 34 unanswered for Mizzou in the first quarter, I think, by the way. Mizzou ends up winning 68-21. Big win for Mizzou.
Well, they need it. I guess there is a way. What is Missouri's record?
2-5.
A 2-5.
They'd be 0-4 in the SEC.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think who they've got. They do have Vandy.
They got
left.
UConn next week.
They've got UConn. Rhett Lashley's. You don't just walk into UConn against Rhett Lashley.
No.
And stroll out with a W. But if they get that win, and if they could somehow
got Arkansas and Tennessee and Vandy.
They can beat. I said earlier they're going to beat Arkansas or Tennessee. They got Vandy. They've played Kentucky, right? Yeah,
yes.
they lost to Kentucky. So man, it's going to be tough for them to make a bowl game.
Oh, no, they're not going to make a bowl.
That's not going to happen.
No. Kentucky traveling to Mississippi State. Not what they had in mind. 45-7. The Bulldogs getting it done. 282 yards rushing for Mississippi State. Only 260 total yards for Kentucky.
Think about this, that Alabama beats Tennessee 45-7. Mississippi State beats Kentucky 45-7. Georgia beats Tennessee 41-0. Auburn beat Mississippi State
49-10.
Georgia beat Mississippi State somewhere around that number.
31-3.
No, it was more than that, wasn't it? Was it 31-3? I thought it was more than that. Maybe. Whatever. But I mean, how many times have you ever seen the SEC where all these teams? I mean, Ole Miss is beat 66-3, and Auburn beat them really badly too. But then Alabama wins 59-0 over Vandy. Georgia blows out Vandy 40-something to just a little bit. How many times in the SEC have you ever seen it like this, where there's so many blowouts? And I mean, you could say I'm saying the same things, same teams like Missouri and Tennessee and Mississippi State. But Mississippi State's in there, and they're also doling out some blowouts.
Like I said, we were talking about it earlier today. 4 teams in Week 8 don't even have a win yet in the league.
Arkansas loses 48-20 to South Carolina. Yeah. They get blown out by Alabama. They get blown out by Auburn. I mean, I've never seen the SEC this way, where there are 5 or 6 teams that are just strictly non-competitive. They can't. And now Ole Miss has lost Shea Patterson. He was the saving grace. I mean, they have the best wide receivers in the league. Still believe that. I believe it over Alabama. I believe it over name a team. I think Ole Miss has got the better wide receivers in the league. But if they don't have somebody that can throw the ball up to them, it doesn't matter. They were having trouble enough with Shea Patterson, who's an NFL quarterback. They have no shot to do anything now.
So you don't think this Hawaiian is as good as Alabama's Hawaiian?
No. No.
His name is Jarrett, isn't it? Tuaham or something.
It doesn't matter. They ought to just say, you know what, we're going to take our penalty right now and just stop playing. That's what we're going to do.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, but that's what they should do.
Speaking of that, Ole Miss 40 or LSU 40 over Ole Miss 24.
And see, that's kind of a blow. It wasn't a blow. I mean, but I think Ole Miss scored kind of late to make it look better.
276 yards rushing for Darius Guice.
He's the first player in SEC history to have 250 yards rushing 3 different times in SEC play.
That's not bad.
That's pretty strong.
And granted, Ole Miss is terrible.
They are, and look, everybody, and that's what I said earlier on the Auburn Blitz.
I'm sorry, not Jarrett. Jordan Ta'amu.
Gesundheit. But you know what I said on the podcast earlier, that I think Leonard Fournette obviously is going to be a great pro. I mean, I think he's leading the league in touchdowns. He's at least leading rookies with 7, and he looks very good. But I think Darius Guice cares about college football more than Leonard Fournette did. Leonard Fournette
he ain't sitting out a bowl game.
About midway through his sophomore year, you could tell Leonard Fournette was like, okay, I sort of don't need to get hurt. And I'm going to be, if the draft happened now, I'd go 5, 6, or 7. So I need to just chill. And I hate that attitude. I hate it comes to that. I want everybody to be as passionate about college football as we are. But Geis looks like he wants to be out there running. Now, every now and again, Fournette would turn it on, just natural competitiveness. But Geis runs like his hair's on fire.
He does. That's why I thought at the beginning of the year I'd do some early predictions, and I thought he, would be in Atlanta. I mean, would be in New York for the Heisman. Probably not going to happen, but unless he has just an incredible second half of the season here. But that was a good start, 276 yards against Ole Miss.
Geis's resurgence brings up a pretty interesting conversation about who do you think will be the 2 All-SEC backs? You got Darius Geis, who I think unquestionably is the best running back in this league, but he's missed some time, so he doesn't have the stats. That Ole Miss game helped him get the stats. Nick Chubb, who is not leading in yards, but he's going to after this week. He's only behind him by like 30-some-odd yards. After this week against Georgia, Florida, he's going to be leading, and he looks very strong. And he's even splitting some carries with Sony Michel. You've got Kerryon Johnson, who's leading right now in yardage, but he's got more carries than everybody and more touchdowns. But he also had 5 of those touchdowns against Missouri and 3 against Mississippi State and 3 against Mississippi.
It doesn't matter who you score them against.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Okay. And you got Damian Harris, who doesn't have the stats of everybody else, but he's second or third in yardage, and he's got about 2/3 of the carries of everybody else. That's pretty disgusting. And he's got 10 touchdowns. And then there was another guy that I wanted to throw in there, help me out, John Kelly. I said, I'm going to throw him in there because I want to throw Tennessee a bone. But also, John Kelly is very good. He's the best player on a bad team.
Sure. I thought he was
he runs
kind of
hard.
A breakout game for him against Georgia Tech. But
he ain't getting it.
No.
But I'm saying he runs hard. If he were on another team with a respectable
–
John Kelly, I'm not sure. But if he were on a respectable offensive line team, he might be leading this conference. I still think Geis is the best player. I think he's also the best pro prospect. But it's going to be interesting to see how these injuries play out the rest of the way, because now Kerryon's probably going to split some more carries, assuming.
Well, I don't know. Apparently, Petway's not very.
He's lost a step.
He's the same old guy. Up against a break here, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air, right after this.
Why buy your next car from Lynch Nissan of Ard?
U.S. AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. AmeriBank difference. U.S. AmeriBank, banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Now
Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your express way to saving.
Do not buy a car this week
until you check out Hyundai of Auburn.
Max trade value, max savings,
my max markdowns,
max credit union and other lenders ready to approve with the max warranty.
America's best 10 years.
When we deal, we pay off your trade no matter what you owe.
And like Christmas, it's just once a year.
And only one place, Hyundai of Auburn.
Get down here today.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Satterfield on Highway 280 in Alex City. Satterfield is the Lake Martin area's Big Green Egg and Accessories headquarters.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live. Time for the Sportz Blitz Players of the Week.
Okay.
Knock it out.
Oh, I thought you were going to start. I guess not.
No, I'll let you start.
Okay, well, let's start with the Lee Apparel East Alabama Player of the Week, and that's Devontae Houston, who totaled 211 yards on 14 touches for Hanley High School. He scored 4 touchdowns as the defending 4A state champion Hanley beat Dadeville 46-20 to post its first win of the season, a 46-20 victory, as I said earlier. Houston rushed 11 times for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns and caught 3 passes for 90 yards and another score.
The LMG River Region Player of the Week is DJ Patrick from Elmore County. Rushed for 256 yards on 30 carries and scored all 4 Elmore County touchdowns in the Panthers' 30-28 win over Hopeville. Patrick also completed 5 of 9 passes for 45 yards, recovered an onside kick, and intercepted a Hopeville pass in the game's final seconds to ice the Elmore County win.
Okay, the Interlink Lee County Player of the Week is Tyler Sellers of Opelika. He kicked 2 field goals of 26 and 32 yards, the latter boot coming on the last play of the game to give the Bulldogs a 20-19 win over previously unbeaten Wetumpka in a key Class 6A Region 3 battle. Opelika drove the length of the field on the final drive of the night to set up Sellers' winning kick.
The Concrete's Talladega County Player of the Week is Marshall Clark from Munford. Recorded 19 tackles, including 1.5 sacks, and a pass breakup on defense, and added 9 catches for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns on offense in a 28-7 victory over Childersburg.
The Lyman Ward Military Academy AISA Player of the Week is John Johnson from Lowndes Academy. He had 6 carries for 136 yards and 2 TDs and a 41-8 win over Sparta.
Sign Source Lake Martin Player of the Week is Casey Baines from Tallahassee. Was 11 of 16 passing for 223 yards and 4 touchdowns in the Tigers' 36-21 win over Leeds. His TD passes covered 15, 54, 20, and 22 yards.
The Russell Building Supply and Russell Do It Center AHSAA Radio Network Player of the Week is Matt Sherrill from Hatton. He finished with 9 catches, 249 yards, including a state record-tying 99-yard touchdown, and all 5 of Slade Berryman's TD throws. The 249 yards receiving is the most in a single game in the AHSAA since 2011.
Wow. That's quite
Have yourself a game.
Absolutely. Congratulations to all of the Sportz Blitz Players of the Week. Let's go to the phone line. We got a phone call.
Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
This is Brian.
Hey, Brian. How you doing?
I picked Alabama win 42-7 over Tennessee was 45-7.
Well, good job, buddy. You're always
Nailed
on the
it.
nose.
You know what I use? One of them steak dinners from JR's.
You what now?
Long time ago, I wanted one of them steak dinners from JR's. I
you want
one in a while.
You want a steak dinner
Hadn't
from
won
JR's?
one in a while. We need to offer another one.
Well, we need to get with JR's and work on that.
That's true.
We'll do it, buddy. Thank you for calling, Brian.
Hey.
Brian, he does. Look, he called the Alabama National
savant.
Championship against Texas in 2009 before the season started. I'll give him credit. I mean, he always has that, you know.
All right, we got about 5 minutes left in this segment. Okay, Luke, you did really well on the History 101 segment in the previous segment.
Well, was that History 101?
Yes.
Because those were predictions, right?
Yeah, but it was last week. It's history.
But
Come
when
on.
you asked
Stay
me the
with me.
questions, when you asked me the questions, it wasn't history yet.
It is now. We're going back. We got another.
I feel like
phone
I'm in Spaceballs. Remember in Spaceballs when you're like, we missed it just now. It just happened just then.
This is the latest in technology. Yeah. Let's go to the phone line. To heck with this.
Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey there, how y'all guys tonight? I ain't been a while since I called in, but hey, I want to tell y'all something. That my upset special this week is going to be Florida going to beat Georgia.
Look out.
It'd be an upset.
I had that game circled in the beginning of the year. I kind of looked at all the schedule, and I did pick LSU to beat Auburn here the other week. And everybody's talking about that's an upset because Auburn was ranked in the top 10, and I guess they wouldn't expect Auburn to win. I mean, Auburn started winning. Everybody was Auburn ready for the national championship, and then they lost that game. Now they're bless their heart. I sit back and I laugh. It's funny to me, I guess, because I got a lot of my friends there for Auburn, and I laughed at it. I said, it'll be all right. I said, y'all just want to get ready to coach. Y'all had the best coach. Y'all had the best running back, number one running back. I said, but y'all, and then now y'all, what happened to him? I mean, you know, and I laughed at you, Andy, because you sit back and you start laughing a little bit, and I said, no, y'all crack me up. That's been a lot of times I can't call because I want to listen to y'all, and I have to mute my radio. But y'all do a great job. I enjoyed the Sportz Blitz from day one, from now to then. But the most important game this week was in Chambers County, Lafayette versus Lynette for the region. Lafayette going for a back-to-back region, and Lynette going for an undefeated season. So y'all go, and I'll say Georgia will get beat by 3 points Saturday night. Talk to y'all later.
Thank you, Jerome.
Thank you, Jerome.
Now, that would be an upset.
That would definitely be an
Georgia is a 14-point favorite, and I think that seems low. But Florida, I said it on the Auburn Blitz, that I think Florida can come at this game 2 different ways. With Jim McElwain's death threats and, you know, he lost the love of his life in that shark. I just feel like they could fracture the team even more. Or it could bring them together.
Rally. I mean, you know, I I've seen worse Florida teams beat better Georgia teams.
There's no question about that.
So, yeah, Will Muschamp brought some bad Florida teams into Jacksonville. And, I mean, beat the ever-loving fool out of some good Georgia teams. So, that game's just weird. I mean, it just is. Florida's got a good enough defense, I think, to keep them in the game, at least for a half, if they can, you know. I don't know if I'd send the entire team out there if you scored a touchdown. But, hey, it might not be a bad idea. Georgia did, and it helped them. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. History 101. 15-point margin of victory for Missouri. Luke said, never happened. Under.
It's history now.
That was a 47-point win for Missouri.
Off a little bit.
10-point margin of victory for Mississippi State. Luke said, never happened. That was a 38-point margin of victory, by the way. 7-point margin of victory for LSU. He said, never happened.
I don't know other teams.
That was a 16-point margin of victory. 300 total yards for Shea Patterson. He said, I'll take the over.
How many did he have? Okay, he
got
hurt.
He had 114.
He got hurt.
Hey, buddy, that's part of the gig.
He tore his
100 yards rushing for Nick Fitzgerald. He said, never happened.
You're making me want some more of this diet mist.
We are up against the break, and not a moment too soon. Don't go anywhere. More Sportz Blitz Live on the way right after this.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At US AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, US AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the US AmeriBank difference. US AmeriBank, banking on values. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control company for a generation, and now we're proud to announce our new name, EnviroCare. You can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs, and EnviroCare's exclusive SentryCon termite colony elimination system that provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. The EnviroCare SentryCon termite protection protects your home year-round. Call the professionals of EnviroCare throughout Central East Alabama. Call for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
A1 Four Seasons, a division of Jackson Refrigeration, is Central Alabama's Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer. With the summer months approaching, the temperatures are rising, and so will your power bill if you don't have one of the latest 410A heat pumps. With R22 Freon prices on the rise, now is the time to make the switch to a new, more efficient unit that will save you hundreds of dollars on your yearly power bill. Call A1 Four Seasons at 256-234-4457. What's behind the CA?
A world full of opportunities.
Where are you now? Where are you going?
Where do you want to be?
These are all important in determining your path in life.
More importantly, why be ordinary
when you can be extraordinary?
At Central Alabama Community College, you can be anything you wish to be.
Don't put your future on hold, and don't settle for less than excellence.
We are Central Alabama Community College.
Central to you.
Central to your success.
And I know when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh.
You can count on the caring team at Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation. Our services include physical, speech, and occupational therapy. Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation, 256-329-9061.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Alex City Marine, the Lake Martin area's premier new and used boat and motor dealership. Find out more at alexcitymarine.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to hour number 2 of Sportz Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you until 9 o'clock, taking your phone calls 256-234-6221, or you can comment on Facebook Live if you'd so choose to do that. We will dedicate the next few segments to the SEC, looking around the conference, as Auburn and Alabama both have an off week this week. Nothing really to look forward to there. So we'll just kind of break down what everybody else is doing around the league. Of course, as everyone knows, Georgia having a tremendous season in year 2 of the Kirby Smart era. 7-0, 4-0, a win over Notre Dame, looking better and better every week early in the season as they went up there to South Bend in week 2. But taking care of business in all the other SEC games that they played, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Vandy, and Missouri, not exactly a murderer's row, but have looked good doing that. Have an open date last week. They'll take on the Florida Gators in Jacksonville. They still have South Carolina at home, Auburn on the road, Kentucky at home, and Georgia Tech on the road. It's hard if they get past Florida. I mean, obviously Auburn's could be a landmine, but even losing that game, they still end up in Atlanta. Hard to see, them not ending up in Atlanta, really.
Well, I'll say this. If they lose to Florida, wouldn't it be something if Georgia were to stroll into Jordan-Hare Stadium, lose there, and then Florida beats, all they have to do is beat Missouri and South Carolina, and guess what? Florida is your East representative yet again.
And think about that, you want to talk about something. If Florida beats Georgia, just let's say Jerome is right, nails it, 3-point win. So they beat Missouri, beat South Carolina, and who cares whether they lose? Let's say they lose to Florida State.
So they lose to UAB.
So you've got a 7-5 or 7-4 Florida team, and what if they take on a 7 or an 8 or let's say I guess a 9-2, 9-3 LSU team that loses to Troy and could end up in Atlanta. You talk about a dud SEC title game, it might be a good one.
You could literally use the extra tickets to wallpaper your kitchen.
Oh my goodness, that's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen.
But it's not that far-fetched.
I agree. It's crazy, but it's not going to happen. Georgia going to win this weekend, and then I guess Georgia will not have locked up the thing, but I guess Georgia could lock this thing up if Kentucky were to lose to Tennessee, which I don't think that's going to happen either. But if they were to, then everybody would have 3 losses except Georgia, and they'd have none. And Georgia would still have South Carolina, Auburn, and Kentucky left. So I guess technically they could be. I mean, you're pretty much locking it down before Halloween.
South Carolina, number 2 right now in the East, 5-2, 3-2 overall. A big win in the first game of the year over NC State. The special teams galore, as Deebo Samuel pretty much beat NC State by himself, I think.
Well, I did leave out South Carolina out of that scenario, by the way.
Yeah.
And South Carolina's only got 2 conference losses. And so, but Georgia will have to, look, Georgia's going to have to win against Florida and then come home and play a South Carolina team that's scrappy, if nothing else. They're not great, but they're scrappy.
They'll suffocate them, though. Their defense will.
But wouldn't it be the Georgia-iest thing in Georgia history for them to lose to Florida, lose to either South Carolina or Auburn, and not go to the SEC title game?
It would be vintage.
The SEC wouldn't want that.
No.
The SEC wants Alabama to keep trucking. They want Georgia to keep trucking, undefeated. Now, interesting scenario. Let's say Georgia and Alabama make it to Atlanta. Let's say Alabama it's another classic like the 2012 game.
Both undefeated?
Both undefeated. And Alabama wins a squeaker. Notre Dame wins out. Notre Dame's got 1 loss. Georgia has a loss, 1 loss and a head-to-head win over them, but Notre Dame played the tougher overall schedule. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Notre Dame at that time will now have had wins at Michigan State. They will have had a win against a ranked Southern Cal team at the time. They will have had a win against Stanford, who I assume probably won't have another loss until they get to Notre Dame potentially. They will have a win against NC State, which they will play this weekend.
Miami.
They have a win against an undefeated Miami team. I assume that Miami will still be undefeated when they play Notre Dame. Who do you give the bid to? Because Alabama would be in that scenario, undoubtedly. Then you would have to think the Big Ten or ACC champ, somebody like that's in. Let's say TCU's undefeated, or Oklahoma wins, or Oklahoma State, one of them's getting in. Pac-12's done, and you got one spot, and you got Georgia, and you got Notre Dame, and you've got all this criteria of Georgia won head-to-head.
Judging by the past, I'd say head-to-head would win out.
See, I'm going to say that overall body of work would win out, and I'm going to say Notre Dame would get in.
I would say Georgia would get in. Well,
it'd be an interesting.
If I was voting, anyway.
I see, but last year, head-to-head didn't count.
Who didn't get? Oh, Penn State.
Penn State didn't get in over Ohio State. They had one extra loss though, but they also played one extra game. They also had an extra win. I don't know. I thought Penn State should have gotten in last year. I mean, I have no problem saying that, but I don't think. See, we live in such a black and white society. I don't think it was egregious that Ohio State got in. I get it.
It was razor thin.
It was close, and only one of them can do it. And second place may as well be last place. I understand, but in this scenario, I think that most would say Notre Dame gets in, even though I get it. I'd be a Georgia guy, but I'm Southern. I mean, I'm SEC. I'm going to want Georgia in there. But if you put Georgia in that scenario, you realize then you'd probably have an immediate rematch of Georgia and Alabama. And I think they'd want to avoid that too. Or you could have Notre Dame in the 4 seed, Alabama in the 1 seed, playing in a very Catholic city of New Orleans. That's what would happen.
Surely, I don't know if they want an all-SEC final either. I mean, if you want to separate them like that.
Well, and that's the other thing is you would then have two teams from the same conference, and I think they'd shy away from that too. I mean, there are a lot of – but this is what's beautiful about it. I mean, you're probably saying, well, this is why we need 8 teams. See, to me, this is the beauty of it. Like, Georgia could nip this in the bud, don't lose. Notre Dame could have nipped this in the bud, don't lose. But they lost. So now you're in a pickle.
Yeah.
A pickle, is it?
We're in a pickle. Up against the break. Don't go anywhere. More Sportz Blitz Live is on the way right after this.
So you want to build a home? Build the home you want with America's Home Place. Choose from over 150 floor plans, then personalize. Tile backsplash with granite countertops? Done. A spacious bathroom you've always dreamed of? You got it. Choose every detail, floors, cabinets, even the paint color.
How about electric lime?
Can't decide? Relax. At America's Home Place, we take care of it all. It's your home. Own it. America's Home Place.
We love football season.
Don't pass on these deals.
Drive a new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab 4x2 Express for $289 down, $289 a month during Ram Power Days at Bice Motors.
Score big and save all season long.
Lease the all-new redesigned 2017 Jeep Compass Latitude for just $149 a month.
Drive in for the savings. Drive out with the win.
Come see us in Alex City. BiceChryslerDodge.com.
Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
Whether it's a dream house or corporate real estate, Concrete has the skill, expertise, and talent to exceed your expectations. Trust Concrete to build a foundation for your future. Our work ethic and dedication are always in keeping the competition on their toes. We specialize in residential and commercial development in the Coosa, Talladega, and Shelby County areas. Call us today for your next project, 256-245-4211, or check us out on the web at con-crete.com.
There is a strength inside you, unknown and imperfect. waiting. And when you think you have nothing left to give, when each obstacle in your path is more formidable than the last, that's when you'll find it. And with that strength, your greatness will have no limits.
Hi, this is Quinn Harrelson with Interlink Mortgage in Auburn, Alabama. There are 1,000 different questions people ask me every day about mortgage loans. They ask about buying investment homes, primary homes, and even second homes at the lake or the beach. I only have a limited time to say, call me and let's talk about what you want and how I can help you get it. Again, win with Quinn and call me today at 256-675-6259 so I can help structure a mortgage that best fits you and your family's needs.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live, and thank y'all, all of you out there, for joining us on Facebook Live as well. Going to run down some comments that we're getting coming into the show here.
And first of all, thank you guys for that. Mark Knight said that Benjamin Russell did lose to Hillcrest Tuscaloosa last year.
Okay.
Which I just, why does that not stand out in my mind? Because that means they would have played Brian Robinson, and I would have thought it would have stuck out in my mind more. But I guess it just, I don't know.
You're just losing brain cells by the year.
True. It's probably this Diet Mist Twist cranberry lemon lime flavor that I'm drinking.
Crush it.
Mark Knight also said, if UA beats Tennessee 15 times, could we then realign with Auburn in the East and put UA versus UT on the rotation? Look, who do you want to put? You want to put Missouri in the West? Look, I still don't understand. Somebody from Auburn's going to have to help me with this. And maybe that's you or Mark or whomever. Why would an Auburn fan want to be in the East in that scenario? The only way that really helps Auburn, it doesn't help Auburn if Missouri moves over to the West and then Alabama gets to play Missouri every year. That ain't helping anybody except Alabama and everybody else in the West and LSU and whomever, because Missouri's about to be bad for a while. And meanwhile, Auburn's going to go over to the East just when Georgia's kicking back up. And you want Alabama to be your permanent opponent from the West? And then play the rest of the East. The East is going to get better. It's cyclical. It's going to change. And we keep looking at it like, when is it going to change? It's probably going to change when Saban gets out of here. That's probably one of the ways it's going to change. And one of the ways it's changing is already with Georgia recruiting gangbusters right now. Florida's not going to be down forever. Tennessee, maybe Tennessee will be down forever. But if you wanted to, fine with me. That's the only scenario that would make any sense is moving Missouri to the West and Auburn to the East. I don't want them to do it because I do believe in some traditional rivalries. I don't want Missouri in the league. That's my first answer. I don't want them in the league. So I hate that that's the case, but I think the other answer is SEC expands again, gets two teams from the eastern side. They join the East, and then Missouri joins the West, and it evens out then. That's my answer to it. And I hope that's what eventually happens. I'm fine with 16 teams in the conference. And then you only play one team from the other side, maybe. I don't know how you do it. Or you go to I guess, no, you wouldn't have to go to 9 conference games. You'd already have 9, wouldn't you? Because no, you wouldn't. You'd have to go to 9 conference games. You'd have to go to 9 conference games. Whatever, I'm fine with that. But I don't, and Auburn going to the East, Auburn fans always say it's going to help us with recruiting so much. Not really. Auburn does pretty well recruiting the East as it is. They got Montravius Adams, they got Carl Lawson, they got Ronnie Brown, they got I know he turned out to be terrible, but Byron Cowart is number 1 player in the country. He's from Florida.
Yeah.
Auburn does pretty well recruiting Georgia and Florida, and they got Stephen Davis from South Carolina and Ricardo
Jason Campbell from Mississippi.
Jason Campbell. Oh, I'm talking about in the eastern side.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I don't think going to the East is going to help Auburn all too tremendously in recruiting. I think that recruiting is a little bit more national for everybody now anyways. Alabama's got a guy from Hawaii playing second-string quarterback, and they've got a couple of guys from Utah, or one guy from Utah committed for next year. So, I think that it's moving to the East isn't a big geographical advantage. I know what you're saying, though. Like right now, Auburn would have loved to have been in the East while the East was so down. But it's been the other way around. People forget that.
I don't care one way or the other. I mean,
maybe you do away with divisions. I'd be fine with that. Do away with divisions, or do pods, or do something else, and the best 2 teams play in the SEC title game every year. I would prefer that. I don't like this thing. See, everybody thinks, Alabama loves it when they play a bad Florida team. No, because what if the unthinkable happens and Florida screws around and wins? Then they get to go to some really good bowl game because they won the league with 4 losses? That's a terrible idea. In 2011, how much better would it have been if Alabama and LSU could have had a rematch in Atlanta, and then I guess the winner would probably play Oklahoma State for a national championship?
Probably so. It would have been better. Yeah.
So I say do away with divisions altogether, but I think in the NCAA, in the rules, it states to have a championship game, you must have divisions.
I think that's
silly.
Yeah, that is pretty foolish.
A couple of more comments.
Go right ahead.
He got me on a roll. How many quarters since UT's offense has scored a TD? Well, all right, I think it started. Is he talking about just SEC games? I know they didn't score one against Alabama. They didn't score one against South Kakalaki. And they didn't score one against Georgia, but then wasn't UMass in between Georgia and South Carolina?
Sounds good to me.
You're not even paying attention.
Tennessee, okay. Let's see, 41-0 Georgia, 15-9 South Carolina, 45-7. Go back to 17. Yeah, it was in between Florida and Georgia.
And then final question, and we've already covered this.
14 quarters, is that what you said?
Long time.
14 quarters since they've scored a touchdown.
Do you see Lane Kiffin coaching in the SEC against a head coach? I don't. I think he would, crawl over broken glass to get to the SEC. Sure, I mean, he wants out of Florida Atlantic just like everybody else would. But I think the people who are so excited about his potentially coming into the league, who want him for a coach, forget the baggage he brings with him. They just remember the good stuff about him in Alabama. And I heard one Auburn sports show today was saying, he'd give Nick Saban fits. Nick Saban would love it if he'd go to Auburn or Tennessee. Oh, he'd love it. Oh, he'd love it. It'd be great.
Let's just stop saying that. Let's stop connecting Auburn to Lane Kiffin, okay? It's not going to happen. Nobody wants it to happen. Only morons want that to happen. I'm sorry if you're a moron, but that's the case. That's the truth.
I think it'd be high comedy.
I'm sure that you do. I hope he ends up in Alabama.
In our defense, see, that's what people forget is that I think the only way Lane Kiffin works at Alabama is if Nick Saban's the head coach. I don't think there's another coach in the country that could have handled that whole situation.
I agree.
Especially all the stuff that was going on in his personal life at the same time. It's brutal, man.
We also had another comment or question. What if South Florida were to run the table? Well, South Florida is 7-0. The rest of their schedule is Houston, at UConn, Tulsa, and Central Florida. Central Florida.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like Southwest Airlines flight plan. Yeah. And we got to go to Houston, and then Tulsa, and then we got to go to Connecticut, and then what's the other one?
Central Florida.
And then we got to head down to Central Florida. Got to go to Orlando.
That's just. I don't think you can. I mean, it'd be wonderful, and they deserve to be a top 15 team, but they're not even sniffing the playoff now. And neither is Central Florida, because their schedule is Austin Peay at SMU, UConn at Temple, South Florida at home.
If they get in, it's a travesty. I mean, if there's somebody out there who's like, what about the little guy? The little guy should play some people, play somebody.
Yeah, that conference is not very potent.
And then people say, well, they can't help who's in front of them. Yeah, they can. You better do something about it, because you can't play a schedule like that, go undefeated, and then say, me too.
Well, I mean, you could beat everybody like 70-0, and people would say, hey, and you might deserve a chance. I mean, if you're just destroying competition.
It's not fair for a team like Georgia, who does things like play in the SEC, which, yes, we all admit the SEC is down. It is an infinitely better conference than, what is that, the American?
I'm not even sure.
Okay. Whatever conference it is, the SEC is infinitely better. And they put more people in the pros. They have better teams, better coaches, better facilities, better everything. So it's not fair for Georgia to have to run through that gauntlet and maybe have a loss and play Notre Dame and play Georgia Tech. And then Central Florida or South Florida gets to play a lot of teams with who are essentially all non-Power 5 teams.
Yeah. Bottom of 5, tied 1-1, Dodgers and Astros.
Good Lord, they're in the bottom of the 5th?
Game of the World Series, yes. Up against the break, don't go anywhere. More to come right after this.
Looking for the area's best one-stop shop? Foshi's Watts is where to go. Foshi's Watts has non-ethanol gas for you boaters and you lawn care guys. Although cutting the grass is less fun than going to the lake, you can also get live bait and tackle, cold beverages, and they have fresh biscuits starting at 5 a.m. and the best candy prices in town. You can even fill your propane tank and get a bag of everybody's favorite pellet ice for only $1.50. Get it all at Foshi's Watts on Dadeville Road in Alex City, the area's best one-stop shop. Lakeside Marina and Watercraft Rentals have spring fever and are happy to announce that Bennington is back. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek is now Lake Martin's Bennington pontoon dealer with all models of Bennington pontoons that deliver speed, power, and stability with their elliptical sport packages and best-in-class styling and luxury. See the full line now for best selection as well as the all-new personal watercraft from Kawasaki. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek, #1 for a reason. Lakeside Marina is also your authorized Easy Go kart dealer for Lake Martin.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Did your team just win the big game? Are you looking for a unique way to honor a valuable employee? Lila's Engraving has you covered, offering a large selection of custom trophies and plaques. Lila's also offers cast aluminum car tags, custom engraved wine glasses, clocks, and wood cutting boards. They even offer custom framing for any art or picture as well. Lila's combines the best quality items with the fastest service around. With over 27 years of experience in the Alexander City and Lake Martin areas, Lila's Engraving is your only choice for custom awards and engraved gifts. Always remember, winners choose Lila's.
LMG Advertising Agency offers a comprehensive marketing solution tailored to each of our clients' needs. We are a full-service marketing firm offering website design and development, video production, social media marketing, search engine optimization, and overall branding that includes logo design, brochures, mailouts, and more. Our experienced team of marketing professionals would love to come up with a marketing strategy that will deliver results for you and your business. Learn more at lmgadagency.com or call today to start at 256-825-0197.
Whether it's a walk-off home run, a game-winning touchdown, or a buzzer beater, make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup. Located in downtown Sylacauga and a short drive from Highway 280, Jay's has the food you're looking for. Whether it's wings, fingers, burgers, or salads, they have it all. Come bring your family for a great meal, come hang out with your friends for the big game, or call them at 256-207-0700 to place your order. Make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Peaches and Clean, caring for your floors and a whole lot more in East Central Alabama.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you for about 30 more minutes in tonight's program, talking about the SEC. We'll move over to the Western Division now. Obviously, Alabama leading. Auburn in second right now, basically tied with LSU, both 6-2. Auburn having played one more SEC game, 4-1. LSU 3-1. And Texas A&M coming in number 4, 5-2, 3-1. Still, with pretty much everything in front of them. Not looking to they're going to have some help with Alabama losing. But, hey, Texas A&M got Mississippi State this weekend, Auburn, New Mexico, Ole Miss, and LSU. They run the table. Who knows what happens if they were to do that.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I feel like SEC also is musical chairs of hot seats.
Mm-hmm.
Although, as I said again on the podcast day, I feel like whatever seat Brett Bielema in is probably pretty hot.
Sweaty.
You know, if you were to get in the seat, you know how it used to be, like if you are waiting for a seat to come open at a doctor's office or something, and then like somebody gets from the chair and you sit down and like the chair's already hot, you're like, oh, you know, you still got pants on and everything, but you're like, oh man, no. Like I feel like
you don't believe in shared
you'd have
body.
you'd have to let Brett Bielema's chair air out for a good 7 to 9 minutes.
I'm telling you, go look at a picture of him in 2012 and look at a picture of him now. There needs to be an intervention. Okay?
Food-wise?
Yes, the man's going to die. I mean, he looks like the guy that ate Brett Bielema. If
he ate Brett Bielema, why would he start looking like him?
He looked like him to start with.
Maybe he ate Lou Holtz or John L. Smith,
Maybe.
a former coach.
That's just gross. But hey, look, the man's fat. Okay,
that's what you're trying to say.
I'm not actually saying he's accountable. He's just an enormous guy. I mean, he wasn't like that. I mean,
don't put it past
him. He
him.
just had a kid. He wants to see that little girl grow up. I'm serious. I'm not being funny here. I think the man's gonna die if somebody doesn't do something, intervene here. He obviously eats when he's depressed.
Well, look, Arkansas ain't going to stress him out. That's positive. I mean, you ain't got to worry about being stressed. He doesn't have to worry about what bowl game he's going to.
I bet the fans are pretty stressed out there. Of course, the $15 million will make him feel better, which I think goes
buy
down
a lot of lipo.
It goes down to it'll go down to 8, I think, on January 1st. So that's a big dip.
Yeah, but what it means, though, is you've already also gone through the round 1 of signing day. And yet another reason I hate this new signing day. I think this new signing day is just a bad idea all the way around.
Well, let's just wait and see what actually happens first.
Well, I'm just
saying
I think it's a bad idea. I could eventually be wrong. I think it's going to be a bad idea.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, the Western Division. Oh, boy. Well, you got poor Arkansas down there at the bottom. Oh, Mississippi State and Ole Miss keeping them company. But it really basically comes down to the Alabama-LSU game, the Auburn-Georgia game, obviously the Auburn-Alabama game, and Auburn's Texas A&M. I mean, you know, these are basically the 3 or 4 games that are going to decide this division. Alabama, I think. I don't know. Who would you say had the easier road? Alabama's got LSU at home, Mississippi State on the road, and Auburn on the road. Auburn has Texas A&M on the road, Georgia at home, Alabama at home. LSU has Alabama on the road, Tennessee on the road, Arkansas at home, Tennessee on the road, Texas A&M at home.
Look, I think Alabama by default has the easiest road because, this is going to sound so arrogant, they don't have to play Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay? And they get to play Mississippi State. Yeah, they do have to play them in Starkville and those cowbells and the yada, yada, yada. But Alabama hadn't lost there since 2007. Hadn't lost to Mississippi State in general since 2007. I don't think they're going to start losing this year. Alabama's got to play LSU. That looks a little tougher now than it did a couple of weeks ago. But I'm not going to read a whole bunch into LSU's beating Auburn because they played better for a couple of quarters, or they're beating Ole Miss because Ole Miss is
because Auburn took their foot off the gas.
True, because Auburn took their foot off the gas. But Alabama's going to Mississippi State and going to Auburn in this season is not easy. But do I think it's easier than say, Auburn has to finish up with arguably the 3 best teams in the league. I mean, you got to finish up, and I know you got to play 2 of them at home, but those 2 you play at home are 2 top 3 teams in the country. And then you play Texas A&M. I mean, Auburn and Texas A&M are probably neck and neck. I mean, if you want to say Auburn's 3 and A&M's 4, okay. But Auburn's got to play the next 3 toughest teams in the conference besides themselves. That's a tough stretch, man.
I think Auburn's the most difficult. I would definitely agree with that.
And then they also play ULM. Now, this isn't 2007 La Monroe, but it's not Mercer. It's not Alabama A&M, who Auburn's played in the past. This is, it's a D1 team that's not bad. I mean, they're not good. They're not bad.
Yeah, they're not good.
But they're not as easy as Mercer or Alabama A&M is my point. Whereas
they better be easier than Mercer.
Oh, come on. Y'all, Auburn just had to slip up. It's all right.
Nah, maybe not. We'll see. Yeah, the
foot off the gas.
They should. Yeah, don't take your foot off.
Y'all ought to get a better car. Why don't y'all get an electric car?
You know, I watched the Blues Brothers the other night, and you know, Elwood went in there and put some glue on the accelerator of the good old boys RV. I mean, how about that an idea?
I dig it.
Put a little glue on the accelerator. That way, Gus can't take his foot off the gas.
He'd find a way to wreck it.
He'd find a way to wreck it. And sadly, I agree with that. We'll move over and talk a little bit about the playoff scenario. We'll just preface it a little bit and then move it over into the next segment. But as the season ended right now, Alabama, Penn State, Georgia, and TCU would be your playoff 4 teams. Alabama and TCU, Penn State and Georgia. How about Penn State and Georgia in like a throwback?
I'd love it.
That would be an interesting game. I think that would draw a lot of interest.
I really like the idea. I don't like the idea of TCU, not because I think Alabama should be scared of TCU.
You hate little teams.
I'm just not it just doesn't light the fire.
You hate all things that are not traditional.
I like traditional. Yeah. Tell me very quickly, would you now forget the fact that you hate Alabama?
Okay.
Just seriously, humor me. Would you rather see Alabama Notre Dame or Alabama TCU?
I've seen Alabama Notre Dame, and it was horrible.
Okay, in New Orleans, with all that Catholic population.
You really think that matters?
I don't know that it matters. I just think it makes it more electric.
Okay. We got it. Let's push this over to the next segment. We'd love to know what you think. 256-234-6221. More of Sportz Blitz Live right after this.
Your comfort is our #1 concern. Advanced Heat and Air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's train dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our #1 concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
Hi, this is Quinn Harrelson with Interlink Mortgage in Auburn, Alabama. There are 1,000 different questions people ask me every day about mortgage loans. They ask about buying investment homes, primary homes, and even second homes at the lake or the beach. I only have a limited time to say, call me and let's talk about what you want and how I can help you get it. Again, win with Quinn and call me today at 256-675-6259 so I can help structure a mortgage that best fits you and your family's needs.
Game day. Last season you were watching football at the mercy of that loathed cable company and your weird roommate with the ornery chinchilla. But today you're going to watch wherever the Wild you want. You go here, Wild Wind Cafe. They've got all the games on more screens than you can count, and cute roommates. This is just the Wild you need. So go wild, superfan. We can't help you choking QB, but we do have cold beer.
So you want to build a home? Build the home you want with America's Home Place. Choose from over 150 floor plans, then personalize. Tile backsplash with granite countertops? Done. A spacious bathroom you've always dreamed of? You got it. Choose every detail, floors, cabinets, even the paint color.
How about electric lime?
Can't decide? Relax. At America's Home Place, we take care of it all. It's your home. Own it. America's Home Place.
Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gills. Selection and price, got to get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills. Cars that fit your budget. Service that no one around can beat. Stop by today and test drive the vehicle of your dreams. Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you, gotta get to Gills. Selection and price, gotta get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills.
What do you see when you think about your future? Do you see determination that keeps you going, that helps you make a difference in your world?
Do you see challenges that make you stronger?
Southern Union State Community College realizes that your opportunities for greatness are unlimited. Your journey has just begun.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Hyundai of Auburn. You owe it to yourself. Call Hyundai of Auburn today at 334-321-0777 and visit them online at HyundaiofAuburn.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Bottom of the sixth, still tied 1-1, game one of the World Series there at Chavez Ravine. Go back to a couple more comments before we move on.
Well, one comment. Mark Knight said, I got hooked on Auburn as a teenager listening to them play Tennessee and Florida. I never had much history with LSU. And that's true. And I understand that. I mean, but the Auburn-LSU rivalry now is one of the more interesting in the conference. So, I mean, I don't think that's a great argument to move Auburn over to, because really the barn-burning game, the earthquake game, the 2 million interceptions in a row game, the doink. I mean, just roll down the list. The 04 game where Auburn blocked an extra point, or LSU blocked an extra point, but they said LSU had crawled up somebody's back or whatever it was, couldn't jump over somebody.
Well, we just missed it, and the guy dove over the pile, which was just so happened they implemented that rule about 3 weeks before.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the Auburn-LSU is one of the more interesting rivalries in the conference. I don't want that one to change.
I agree. I mean, that's become, a really good rivalry. But I miss Tennessee. I miss Florida. I miss playing that. I mean, Auburn won't go 2 games until like 2020.
Yeah, I get that. And I mean, look, Alabama's not going to play Georgia again until like 2022. I can't remember what it is, but at the same time, it's when you start adding all these teams in the conference, what you get. I don't want to even play Missouri. I mean, I don't think of them as the Southeast. They wanted the Big Ten. They didn't get in. So we took them because of the footprint, and I get why we took them, but money ruins everything, as I've said before, and it's kind of ruined our personality. I would have preferred to have Clemson. I would have preferred, I tell you, everybody thinks I'm crazy. Florida State would be fine. But, Florida State, while they are Southeastern, I don't know that they fit in with us as much. They seem a little Atlantic Coast-ish, okay? Clemson fits in well. Clemson and South Carolina in that same state doesn't help our footprint, but it helps our personality. The other team, everybody thinks I'm crazy. Not Georgia Tech, not Louisville, West Virginia, baby. Burn those couches. We burn couches. They burn couches. We burn ours on accident usually because, maybe we try to put a cigarette out on them and it's alcohol.
I'm not sure they have the sensibility to be in the SEC.
They probably don't, but imagine a number 1 ranked Auburn or Alabama rolling into Morgantown to play them, and I don't care what their record is. Those guys get hammered early. It's LSU, but worse.
Oh, my God.
And I think that'd be kind of cool. And West Virginia has some history. I mean, now they played for a national championship back in 1988.
Major Harris. I
remember it well. It was 88. It was.
He didn't get hurt. It might be a better game, but Notre Dame was tough.
Notre Dame was tough that year, man.
I'd have loved to seen Auburn play them, which they should. Auburn.
Y'all blew it.
We blew it.
That's the earthquake game.
Yeah. That would have been a game to watch. Notre Dame and Auburn.
Well, you've never played them. Why start now?
Yeah, I guess so. We talked about the teams that would be in the playoff right now if the season ended today, but breaking news, the season does not end today. A couple more, several weeks left this year. Alabama kind of ran down their schedule. LSU, Mississippi State, and Auburn. Penn State's got Ohio State this weekend. Still got to go to Michigan State.
Do you know what the spread is in that game?
No, I do not.
Well, take a guess at it.
3 points.
7.
Penn State? Ohio State's a 7-point favorite. That's probably about right.
I think so too.
I was thinking maybe 4.
I think Ohio State beats them and maybe pretty easily. Look,
I picked Ohio State in the paper.
Where did Franklin have a problem last year? He went to Penn State on the road and just didn't do well.
Penn State.
He's going to be in kind of the same spot. He's going to go to Ohio State on the road. And I think he can play a lot better at home. He's one of those emotional coaches.
Yeah.
I think that it's going to be a big Ohio State victory, and that everybody's going to be back on that Ohio State bandwagon.
Now that probably, they have to be the ones. They've just they lost early, but they've just kind of been biding their time.
I will say this,
winning games.
And I'm a traditionalist, and again, it's not because I fear Ohio State or anything. I don't want an Alabama-Ohio State rematch in New Orleans. We've seen that. Okay, I want somebody else there. I mean, whoever did, maybe Alabama goes up to the West Coast. That's not going to happen. If Alabama's the 1 seed, they're going to New Orleans. But I don't want to see Alabama-Clemson in New Orleans. Not because I fear Clemson, because I've seen that. If Alabama-Clemson or Alabama-Ohio State national championship game, cool. It's fine. I just don't want to see that rematch in game 1.
You feel like you have to qualify every one of them with
I do.
Afraid.
Yeah, I do. I feel like, because if you say that, the first person, the next message will be, oh, Luke's scared of Ohio State. I mean, they're okay. They're not bad.
Clemson, people kind of forget about them because of that ugly loss. Georgia Tech this week at NC State. That's a huge game.
Yes.
Florida State, Citadel, and then at South Carolina. They could obviously work their way back into it.
And then they have an ACC title game, too.
And they have an ACC title game. Big 12 got a championship game this year.
They do.
TCU got Iowa State, Texas, at Oklahoma, at Texas Tech, and Baylor. Baylor's not an issue, but all 4 of those other teams, they could lose.
Yep.
Now, they could win all of them too. So
they at Oklahoma.
At Oklahoma, yeah.
And they also would have a Big 12 championship game, so they could have a rematch with Oklahoma State, or I guess.
But if a Big 12 team loses, I don't know. I mean, they're not going to compare with a one-loss Georgia.
But they would be a conference champ. I mean, look, I guess it would all depend. TCU's non-conference. They did go to Arkansas and win, but I'm one of those
that's a big.
I know, but I will say this: I give them credit for scheduling it.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't. It's not their fault. Arkansas hadn't lived up their end of the bargain. Arkansas is a name team from a name conference.
Yeah, you had to know that they weren't that good at least 4 years ago.
Maybe.
Miami, undefeated still right now. They've got North Carolina, Virginia Tech at home, Notre Dame at home, Virginia at home, and Pitt on the road. So Virginia Tech, Notre Dame, those are 2 big wins they can get out there.
And ACC title game potential.
And an ACC title game against.
It would probably be against
Miami's
Clemson. They're in the other one.
Coastal.
They're in the other division.
In the other division with Duke and those.
Yeah.
Rascals.
So they would get.
Was that the same division as Virginia Tech?
Man, I
think it is, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Okay. Yes, it is. So because Clemson would play, they talk about Clemson could play a rematch with Virginia Tech or play Miami.
Okay.
Is what it looks like, and I'm fine with that. I think that would be good. I'm okay with Alabama. How cool would it be for Alabama and Miami to play in New Orleans? Rematch from '92.
Would that be cool?
I think so. Alabama would bludgeon them, I think, but I've used the term bludgeon way too many times in this one show.
Dodgers, Justin Turner with a 2-run homer, 3-1 Dodgers in the bottom of the 6th. 2 outs in that. Up against a break here, but we have one final segment on Sportz Blitz Live. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this.
Why buy your next car from Lynch Nissan of Auburn?
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's red flag pest control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
When you're born, you're really young. You're like 0 years old. My grandma tells me to quit growing up so fast. But what can I do about it? My mom keeps throwing me birthday parties.
Russell Medical, comprehensive care in your corner of the world.
Show Enough Barbecue. Since 1990, we've been serving you the finest barbecue in Alexander City. Gerald believes in cooking fresh meat daily, and the secret to that is, I'm not going to tell you. Show Enough is just not about barbecue, but also known for fresh vegetables and homemade pies. That's where I come in. I'm Linda Sanford, better known as the Pie Lady. We also do catering. For more information, give us a call at 234-7675.
Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. At Walls, you'll find a dedicated staff offering top quality service from routine maintenance to a full engine overhaul and everything in between. Brian Walls and the folks at Walls Tire are local folks that you know, and they provide the best service always at a fair price. Find out what the rest of the Lake Martin area already knows. Walls Tire is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. Just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City. This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Russell Do-It Center, offering a complete assortment of lumber, building materials, electrical, and plumbing supplies. Russell Do-It Center stores deliver first-class service, top-rate products, and competitive do-it-best pricing.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of Sportz Blitz Live. We're talking about Bullet Bob Armstrong in the break, and you know, I was up in, I can't even remember now, up north somewhere, but they had a flyer in a place that I was eating, and this is 5 or 6 years ago. National Guard Armory, main event. You know who the headliner was?
No way is Bullet Bob Armstrong.
Bob Armstrong.
There's zero. He cannot still be alive.
He is still alive. Now, this is 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago.
I don't care. I remember it was mid-'80s, and I used to love watching Saturday night wrestling. It came on, I think, at 6 o'clock on WCOV out of Montgomery. And we were laughing about it because it was Bullet Bob Armstrong. He was one of the main characters, and he had 2 sons, Brad and Scott. Well, Bullet Bob had a loser leave town match, and he loses. So the next week, they bring in this new character with a mask on. He wore a green leotard and a green mask with white trim, and his name was the Bullet. And they kept saying, who is this mysterious Bullet? Never mind the fact that he had the same hairy chest and hairy arms and a tattoo that said Bullet Bob Armstrong on his arm. Don't worry about that part. They had no idea who that Bullet was.
He was mysterious, all right. All right, Luke, this for next week. I want you to put your thinking cap on.
Done it.
Arkansas is 2-5, taking on Ole Miss in Oxford. Ole Miss 3.5-point favorite. Who do you like?
I like Arkansas. I mean, no Shea Patterson.
You
no
like
chance.
Arkansas in this game?
Yeah.
Okay. Georgia, 14.5-point favorite versus Florida in Jacksonville.
I mean, just because I want CBS to mess around and get a good game again, I'm going to say Florida covers that spread, but they don't win.
Okay. Vanderbilt at South Carolina. South Carolina is a one-point favorite. 7-point favorite.
One?
7-point favorite.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Now, I like South Carolina to win this. I think I just have a lot of faith in Jake Bentley. Probably a lot of faith that is just blind, but I like Jake Bentley a lot.
Missouri is a 12.5-point favorite at UConn.
I like UConn.
You like UConn?
I don't care. I know they beat Idaho by 40, whatever. If they played again tomorrow and you gave me 12 points, I'm taking Missouri.
Mississippi State is a 1.5-point favorite at Texas A&M.
Give me A&M all the live long.
Tennessee at Kentucky. Kentucky is a 5-point
Give me
favorite.
Kentucky.
You like Kentucky. And we will continue to do this. We got a phone call really quick.
Okay. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, I want to think about what Alabama and LSU gonna do at the bye week. What you think Alabama gonna do?
I think Alabama's gonna win. What about you?
Oh, I think Alabama gonna do it. They're gonna go all the way.
All right. Hey, appreciate the phone call. Thanks for calling. Okay.
I appreciate it.
5 more combined wins for Tennessee, Missouri, and Ole Miss.
I said under.
I know, but you still saying under?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you saying now Missouri, they could win 2. They're going to win 2 of these 3 here.
I don't care, dude.
Okay.
Where's Tennessee winning? Who's the other team?
Tennessee's got Kentucky, Mizzou,
And who's
LSU,
the, it was
Vandy.
Tennessee, Missouri, and who?
And Ole Miss. Got Arkansas, Kentucky,
Ole Miss, no Shea Patterson.
A&M, Michigan.
I don't know. Give me the under.
Give you the under all the day long. Okay. We'll continue to do that.
I dig it.
All right. And that's pretty much going to wrap up Sports Blitz live. Or the Auburn Blitz. Or whoever, whatever.
Saturday Sports Countdown.
Saturday Sports Countdown. Who knows? 3-1 Dodgers in the top of the 7th, 2 outs. Things getting a little tight for
Dicey.
Astros. Look out. Got anything else you'd like to? Nothing.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us,
Been
everybody.
trying to leave for 30 seconds.
We appreciate so much all of you out there joining us. For Ryan Fuller, the man behind the glass, he is Luke Robinson. I am Andy Graham. So long for now. We'll talk again soon.